Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. We're playing Satisfactory, and in the last episode we got quite a lot of automation done. We got some concrete automation into our concrete storage container. We have some cables, we've automated wire production and steel plate production and steel rod production. What we're going to do in this episode is we're going to use this final node over here, this final iron node. We're going to use that to produce some iron rods, which we're then going to turn into screws, and we're going to have another container down here for those screws. Now again, poor placement. We've got a power pole in the way there. What I might do actually, this is now right slap bang in the way of everything. So I'm going to move it this episode. I'm going to try and move it over here. Now the problem is we're also using a couple of additional biomass burners, and I've actually, between episodes, I've turned this one off because we're using at peak around about 50 something, and we were producing 60, so I was actually wasting a load of biomass. So I'll turn that one off. That one's still running, as you can see. It's chucking out a load of smoke at the top, and we've got a yellow light on that one signifying it's off. I've also done a bit more foraging off camera, because you can never have enough biomass really. And a couple of other things I want to do this episode. While I was foraging, way up there, I found some more limestone, and it was a normal node as opposed to the horrible impure node that we've currently got. So at some point I might do that off camera, produce another. Oh, we have another slug up there as well, so that's 2 slugs. In fact, we'll grab one of those this episode. In fact, let's do that now. So yeah, off camera I think I'll probably take the constructor, or build a constructor over here for the normal limestone and turn that into concrete, and then from there we'll bring that over back and use a merger to put all of that into our storage container. Here it is, you see. I was doing lots of foraging. There was lots of good biomass leaves and what have you around here, and lo and behold, obviously you've got your deposit on the top. Look at that, a normal node. So I think we'll have some of that. We'll pick up the limestone, we'll chuck that into the constructor, and we might actually have enough to get that going now. I'm not going to do that now. I will do that later. Oh, more beryl nuts. I also found around here, I'm not going to pick those up because I've got lots and lots of biomass. I also found around here a couple of impure iron nodes. I'm not going to use those for now. They're impure. They're not very... Oh, some more beryl nuts and some pale berries. They're not very effective, not very efficient. But there are also some nodes over here that I saw. I think they're iron. So we'll check those out. Possibly between episodes. Now, of course, while I was foraging, there's what I came here for. This is a power slug. This is what I was talking about episode 1, I think, maybe episode 2. and this allows you to do overclocking and underclocking. Now it's a long way down, so I've got to be careful, otherwise I will kill myself, and that's never a good thing. There we go. So this will go in the MAM. Now, in the last episode, I think it was, maybe the last but one, we did put something in the MAM. We put some barrel nuts, or a barrel nut, in the MAM. We'll find out what Ada has to say about that. So yeah, I need to get that hub out of the way. That hub is just obstructing my future development. I can't stretch too far out that way because of those horrible green noxious substances, and this is just right in the way here, so I'll move it. I'll probably do that off camera. Okay, so to the MAM. Okay, so barrel nut is completed.
Barrel nuts can be added to the object scanner catalog after unlocking the new blueprint in Hub Tier 1.
Object scanner, that's something we haven't looked at. Okay, let's take a look at our green power slug. Oh. 5 minutes. Get cracking. Okay, so let's do what we were going to do. Let's build our space elevator. What do we need for that? We need 500 concrete, 250 iron plates, 400 iron rods, and 1500 wire. Well, we've certainly got enough concrete right now. We just don't have the space to put it. I was going to put my limestone in here, wasn't I? There we go. Okay. Now, I'm going to have to dump some more stuff. I hope I've got room in my container. See, my container's full, and it's full of all kinds of crap. My container's full, it's full of all kinds of rubbish. So, what else do we need? We need iron plates, 250 of. We don't need cable, so that's okay. We do need wire, 1500 of. Okay, so I am going to need to get rid of something. What have I got in my inventory here that I can get rid of? Oh, well, that can go into my hands for a start. That can go into my hands. That creates another couple. So that's 3 I've got. Is that going to be enough? Let's hope so. No. Rods. No, because I need 300 of those, and that's taken up all the space in my inventory. So, do we start deleting stuff? That is the question. I need enough room for another 2 of those, and another 2 of those really, or yeah, 1 of those, and fill that one. That's a fair chunk of stuff I've got to delete now. Oh dear. So, the answer to this problem is actually quite simple. Personal storage gives us 5 additional inventory slots, and we have enough to do that right away. So let's do that. That's given us
Milestone reached. Additional storage options have been provided.
an additional
R&D
container.
inflated your pocket dimension and developed a personal storage box accessible in the build menu.
So we now have enough. We've got a. That's enough of those. That's enough of those, and finally, no, that's our cables. This is our wire. That's enough of those. So yeah, that gave us another storage container we can place down, and critically, let's just take these before they become inaccessible. Critically, the extra space we need to build our space elevator. Here it is. Now you can see there's 3 inputs on the side there. Let's get that built. Let's throw all of that good stuff in. Okay. There comes the elevator pole. Open up the clamps. Oh, and here comes our pod on return as well. Hello, pod. Okay, so our cable's docked and secured. Space elevator complete. Okay, so what do we need for our first tier unlock? We need 75 reinforced iron plates and 50 rotors. Now these are things that we've just recently learned how to make, and these are things that we need the assembler for. So let's take a look at what. So we built we got those in tier 1, was it? Oh, it's tier 2, part assembly. The assembler, the rotors. We've also got the modular frames. We'll need those shortly. Reinforced iron plates we already knew how to make. Now this is where a fantastic. I'll press escape here so we can get access to my mouse. This is where a fantastic little tool called the Satisfactory calculator comes into play. Now with the Satisfactory calculator, what we can do is use a production planner. Now we know we need reinforced iron plates and we know we need rotors, so we'll feed that in. We're using a Mark 1 speed belt. We're using a Mark 1 miner on a normal node. We're not using oil, so that's irrelevant for this. We'll reuse the buildings where we can. Now what do we need to produce? We need to produce reinforced iron plates and we need to produce rotors. Where's the rotor? There it is. Okay, so this tells us what we need to build. Now this is building 1 item per minute. So we can increase that. We can say actually I want 2 items per minute, or 3 items per minute, or 13 items per minute. And as you can see, what we need grows with each. So we can see we need number of miners operating flat out. So what we're going to say is actually I don't want 13 a minute of each of those. I'm going to go with 5 for both. Okay, so for that I need 2 miners, each feeding 2 smelters, feeding constructors. Now if we can zoom in on this map, and I'll provide the link to this page, to this site, in the description down below, but it tells us what each needs to do. So obviously your miners are going to go into your smelters that are going to produce ingots. That's standard. but these blue lines tells you what those constructors need to make. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4 producing iron rods. Of those constructors, 1, 2 of them, 3 of them are going to go and produce screws. The rest are just going to go into the assembler. So we've got 2 screws and an iron rod going into the assembler, and 2 screws and 2 iron plates. So that those constructors are producing plates, and those are going into that assembler to make the reinforced iron plates, and these will make the rotors. So what we need for that is mergers. We need a splitter off the smelter. That smelter will go straight into a constructor. That smelter, and we've just run out of power. That smelter will go into a 3-way splitter into 3 different constructors. That smelter will go straight into the constructor, so that will be a merger. And this smelter will be split into 2 constructors. These screws will be going into a merger to feed that assembler. These screws will go into one merger. These plates will go into another merger to feed that assembler. So that's a really, really useful way to visualize exactly what you need to construct, to build, which machines you need, and it also tells you how much power you need. So that needs 73. I just downgraded mine to 60 by turning off one of those biomass burners. So we can go back. Actually, we can now give back some of that fuel, I think, that we've got in our inventory. 1, 2. I think this one too. Yeah, this one needs fuel. So put that one in. That one will bring us back online. So what we're going to do with all this now is tear it all apart. So now, only as you can see, we've got some boxes here. I'm going to leave that one because you can never have enough. And see, we've got quite a bit of stuff that we just can't fit in our inventory at the moment, which is fine. That's all fine and dandy. In fact, what I'll do is I'll create another storage, a storage box rather, and I'll put it over here by the hub. And again, we're going to move this later, so it's okay. And we'll use that to put our bits and pieces get rid of that splitter as well. And we'll get rid of our constructors. And we'll get rid of our smelters because we're going to have to redo all of this. Yeah. Lots and lots of space needed. So let's start filling you up. Okay. Start emptying these out. Okay, excellent. So we've got our miners. I'm going to leave that constructor running. Why? Because, as I've mentioned in a previous episode, you can't really go wrong with constructing wire from copper, because everything comes off that. We're just going to bring that up to... I'm just going to construct a pole here. Hotkey 4. Up there, just so that it's nice and level. Okay, so first thing we need, we've got our 2 miners. We need to put the first one into, so we've got, actually we'll start from the back. That's the best way to do this. Start from the back and work our way forward. So we need 2 assemblers. I think that's going to be in the wrong place, so let's get some more foundations laid. We'll put a new storage container here, and we'll use that for our okay, awesome, excellent. I'm going to move you. Put you over here to start out with. Okay, so let's start with the assemblers then. And I've just realised I've been doing all of this with that in the way. So let's take a review of what I've just done there. So what I've done is I've removed all of the smelters, and I've lost my mouse. Where's my mouse? There we go. I've removed all the smelters, I've removed all the constructors, I've trimmed back the conveyor belt there, and removed the splitter. I've moved the storage container for our concrete, just to give us a bit more space. So what we need to do then is start from the assemblers and work our way backwards. So we need 2 assemblers, one for the rotors and one for the reinforced iron plates. Now these need modular frames and rotors. So let's go to our craft bench. Okay, so we need for 2 assemblers we need 6 modular frames, and for 6 modular frames, 4, 5, 6, we need 36 iron rods, we need 20 cable and 18 reinforced plates. For our rotors, we need 8 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need some screws. Okay, so first thing we need to do is take a look in our get rid of our leaves that we don't need. In fact, we could probably drop our some of our concrete off there for now as well. Okay, so first of all, let's make some screws, because we're going to need screws for the rotor as well as for the reinforced iron plates. I think. Is that right? We need a load of screws. Of that much we are sure. So we need 18 reinforced plates. We certainly need a lot of screws for the reinforced iron plates. We also need a lot of iron plates. And we have some in here. Okay, so how many reinforced iron plates can we make? We can make 23. We will make 18. Did I see some reinforced iron plates in there already? Yes, I did. We now have 25, which is more than enough. Okay, so we can now build 9 rotors. We only need 8. 6, 7, 8. And we can build our 6 modular frames. Okay, we now have everything we need to build our 2 assemblers. Our first assembler is going here. I'm going to rotate it so that we've got the inputs on the right side. That's critical. And our second assembler is going to go alongside. Hold control to keep it all in line. Okay. So if we go back to go back to our little map here, we can see into our assemblers. Our first one that's going to produce our rotors, we need a merger coming from 2 constructors and a third constructor going straight in. Okay. So let's get about building those. Okay, so our logistics, we'll have a merger. Got to rotate that now. With the thing with the mergers, you've got to make sure that the arrows are pointing in the right direction. And just to give you a bit of help, the side that's on the merger, the output side, has got a different coloured face. So that's going in there. So get it closer to save a bit of space. Could get that closer, so let's try that again. Have our merger going in here. I see what's happening there. It's actually lining up with the middle of that assembler. So let's try that again a little more carefully. There we go. That feeds into there. And that comes straight from a constructor, so we need 3 constructors. Production constructors, 3 constructors. We need some more reinforced iron plates. We've got plenty of cable. We need some more. We need some more iron plates, actually. And we need some more screws. Okay. Now actually, if I go back to this, you can see here on, if I zoom that page out, that shows us everything we need in terms of machines. but we also have a tree list. Tells us what each one is going to be doing. Critically, we have the items that we need. So I'm going to use this now to produce all the items that we need. 5 rotors, 54 iron rods, 230 screws. Not going to worry about the iron ore or the ingots. 20 iron plates and 5 reinforced iron plates. That's what we need per minute. Oh no, actually, that clearly isn't. Here we are. Okay, so the smelters need that, the constructors need that, so I need 27 reinforced iron plates for my 9 constructors, 18 cable, of which I've got plenty, 20 iron rods and 32 wire. That should be fine and dandy. So let's get to creating those. Need a bit more of that and a bit more of that. I'm going to need some of those. How many? I've got 10 reinforced iron plates already. I'm going to need 27 altogether. So I need another 17. Okay, I've got all 27 of those. My cable, I've got tons of. Iron rods and wire. I've got 20 wire there, so I'll bring across some wire. 20 iron rods, so 100 will do. Okay. So our first constructor, hold controlled, get it as close as we can to minimize plate usage. That is going to be our first constructor, and that constructor is going to be, if we refer back to our network graph, so this one's going to be producing rotors. That one is going to be producing iron rods. Iron rods, okay. So that's going to feed into there. That comes from a single smelter. It's actually got a splitter on it. So let's start from the back. Let's bring our smelter up here. So that's going into there. This bring around to here. Put a splitter on there. Bring that out a little bit, but let's bung that straight into there, and then we can put the splitter here. Because that one is going to feed into another yep. Oh, actually no, it's the no. I've got that wrong. Okay, so let's do that again. More sensibly. So this has got to go into 2 smelters. So let's build our 2 smelters. Production. Smelter 1 will go there. Smelter 2 will go there. Okay. Smelter 1 goes directly into there. Smelter 2 comes into another constructor first. Again, let's get it close to minimize the amount of plates we need for the belt. This constructor is going to be making iron rods. This constructor will also go into another constructor. Which will be turning those into screws. And again, I've royally botched that one, so let's try that one again. Although actually, I think we're just about coming to the end of this episode, so I will knock all this up offline. We will put this together. It will take probably around 20 minutes, half an hour or so to put it all together. And at the beginning of the next episode, we will show you exactly what we've got, how it all hangs together, and how it matches the image that we saw in the calculator. So until next time, thanks for watching. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell to get notifications of new content to my channel. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.